I'm Josephine Cameron, and I'm the author of Dog Friendly Town. In this mystery for middle readers, Epic McDade and his siblings have to track down a stolen dog collar worth $500,000. Epic loves to tinker, and the gadgets that he makes in the book are easy things that you could make at home. All you have to do is follow your curiosity. In a dog-friendly town, Epic likes to use Brushbots to calm down Pico, who's the really nervous dog who is staying up in room 1 of their dog-friendly bed and breakfast. And Brushbots are really easy to make. All you need are pieces of wire, a 3-volt motor. I ordered a small package of these online, but my brother Alan, who is a lifelong tinkerer, is going to make us a video about how to find some of these components all around the house in everyday items. You also need a battery. I tried this project with a small little round battery. I also tried it with a AA battery. You need some way to stick the wires to the battery. So some people use solder or hot glue, and I am a little more low-tech than that, so I just used electrical tape to tape the wires onto the battery, and that way you could just easily disconnect and reconnect the Brushbot whenever you want to. You need a little bit of something to unbalance the motor, which we'll talk about in a minute, but I used a little piece of foam here, but I've also tried this with just folded up piece of paper, something that you can tape onto your motor. And then the fun part is figuring out what do you want to use for the feet. A lot of people use the head of a toothbrush, and that's why it's called a Brushbot, because it's sort of the toothbrush bristles sort of scoot around on the floor. I also tried this with some just broken up paper clips, and really anything you can think to balance your Brushbot on, something that can bounce or jiggle. You could try springs, you could try anything. Some will work better than others, and that's the fun, is figuring out what are the best feet for your Brushbot. And then the other fun part is how are you going to decorate it. I use washi tape, pipe cleaners, anything you can find to give your Brushbot a little bit of personality. Your motor will probably have 2 little copper loops, and you'll want to attach a wire to each side. I like to use a black one and a red one so that I can connect the black to the negative side of my battery and the red to the positive side of my battery. Then you need to attach your battery somehow to your motor. I used electrical tape because it's really sticky and easy to peel on and off. Attach your black wire to the flat side or the negative side of your battery. You'll want to really make sure that the wire is snugly attached to the battery and making a solid connection. So you might have to press on it quite a bit to make sure. To test the connection, simply touch the red wire to the positive side of your battery and see if your motor starts to spin. If it does, you're ready for the next step, unbalancing the motor. Unbalancing the motor is exactly what it sounds like. We want to take a little piece of paper or a piece of foam or some little small bit of weight and tape it to the part of the motor that spins. What this is going to do is it's going to throw the motor off balance. Instead of spinning nicely, it's going to sort of jostle around a little bit. It's going to have a little wobble, and that wobble is what's going to allow our Brushbot to move. Once we've unbalanced our motor, we want to come up with some sort of leg system for our little robot to balance on. So I've used everything from paper clips to toothbrush heads. You basically want something that when your motor is wobbling around, it will propel your Brushbot either in a circle or forward in a line. Experiment with different types of leg systems, and you'll see that it changes the way your robot moves. The final step is simply connecting the red wire to the positive side of your battery. This connects our circuit, this completes our circuit, and allows our Brushbot to function. It can be a little bit tricky when you're using electrical tape and not solder to make sure that the connections are strong. And so you might need to test it a little bit and finagle around pressing the tape into the wire to make sure you've got a nice strong connection. But once you do, your Brushbot should be ready to go. The fun thing about Brushbots is sort of playing around and experimenting, following your curiosity. What kinds of leg systems work really well or do interesting things, and what kinds of systems are total fail? And then decorate your Brushbots in fun ways and enjoy.
So I am a big advocate of taking things apart. You can find all sorts of screws that way. You can find all sorts of different components, motors, gears, wheels, all sorts of different things that you can then take to make something else. So I'm a big harvester of motors for sure, because you can use those in all sorts of different applications. We did a complex take apart with the foot massager, and now we're going to do a very simple finding a motor. And I found one of my kids' old pens. This is like a pen that has a motor in it, so when you write, it writes all sorts of squigglies. They don't really use it ever, and so I'm going to use this to take it apart to see how to get another motor. And so we see this has the battery, and there's only one screw in this whole contraption, and that is just for the battery compartment. So that is not actually a screw to hold this thing together, so you know that this is glued together. And so one of the best ways to get things apart that are glued together is a hammer. So this motor, because it has the counterweight on it already, and the leads that are ready to go with wires right to the battery, this is almost an instant Brushbot motor because it already has the counterbalance. You don't have to figure out any other weighting system. It already has it on there. So any motor that you can find that has a vibration on it, even like the cell phone vibrations from the silent mode, anything that has a vibration in it, even like Wii remote controls or any kind of video game controller that has the vibration, those are going to have motors with counterbalance. That's what makes it vibrate. And so those are perfect Brushbot motors. Cool.
If you'd like to learn more about Epic and his adventures, or try to make another one of the gadgets that he uses in a dog-friendly town, please visit my website, josephinecameron.com.